Hey everybody, Morgan Larson with the Bliss Real Estate team, and today we're going to talk about something a little different. How can you use the equity on your home, and what, if any, are the consequences of doing that? So you have bought a home, you've been paying on it over the years, or the market has gone up and you now have a bunch of equity, which a lot of people do right now. And so I don't know about you, but I get these emails all the time, emails, letters, etc. Hey, why don't you do a cash out refinance, la la la, do a HELOC, blah, 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 take money out on your house. And sometimes it's tempting, I'll be real. And sometimes I know that it doesn't align with my personal goals, but let's talk about what you can do with basically your forced savings, your equity. If you own a home, you're forced to pay into this each and every month, which is kind of like a forced savings account. So in the end, you can do what's called a cash out refinance. You can do a home equity line of credit. You can do a second mortgage. All of them take from your home's equity and put it into your bank account, or are a line of credit that you can use based on your equity. All of these choices also have an interest rate associated with it. So a lot of people do these refinances mostly for home remodels, renovations, additions, maintenance, etc., replacing windows. And so people will take cash out to then reinvest into their home. So that's one option. But I also see people take cash out to then pay down other debts. So essentially swapping a debt. And usually it's because the interest rate on the home equity line of credit or the second mortgage is less. So that's another option of what you can do with your equity. The last option that I see people use is a reverse mortgage. Now, typically reverse mortgages are offered to seniors because you've been paying into your mortgage all these years. You have a lot of equity, sometimes even up to 100% equity. And as some people's retirement plan, they then pull the cash on either a monthly basis or a lump sum, and we call that a reverse mortgage. It's you already own this much of the house, but now you're gonna start owning less and less of the house over time, but you get a monthly payment to pay towards your other bills and other lifestyle expenses. But here's the consequences to any of these choices. Number one, none of these are free. Don't be fooled when they say it's a free refinance, because guess what? All of these options, refinancing, a home equity line of credit, a second mortgage, a reverse mortgage, they all have an interest rate associated with them, which means that each and every month you're actually paying interest back to the bank. And you may know that, but it is a fine that over time does cost you a lot of money that could be put into other investments or other savings. Another consequence often not spoken about is the fact that when you do many of these things, not all of them, but they reassess the value of your home. They have a new reassessment on the value of your home, and you now pay property taxes based on that new reassessed value. So do be mindful of that if you bought your house for $500,000 and it's now worth $800,000, your tax bill each year is going to jump by probably $2,000 to $3,000 in that particular instance that we were just talking about. Lastly, I think the consequence that most don't think about is that if you continue to borrow against your house, you never end up owning it. And so I know many people who've been in their house way more than 30 years and still don't own it because they have chosen, and it's their personal choice, they've chosen to take out cash over time and refinance. But what that means is that you don't own it. So you never get to a point where all that you need to pay each year is property taxes and insurance. And instead you're continually paying principal and interest. You know, interest is what really hurts us over time. And I always think about, what could I be doing with that $1,000+ per month if I paid off my house? Well, you could do a lot of things. You could do those remodels, you could do those additions, you could do that maintenance, you could also invest that money, you could go on vacations. So think about all of those things, both the benefits and the consequences, before making a decision. And if you have a question on any of these programs and want to talk it over with me, please feel free to email, call, or send me a DM. Follow me on Instagram at Morgan Larson Realtor for more information. And of course, subscribe on our YouTube channel to get these videos. Talk to you soon, friend.